We see it all in black and white and painted all so reasonably. I sit and wonder what we seem to know, how we're sure it all works out. You'll make the sauce, I'll make the dough. Soon we'll see what it's about. I sit and wonder. I sit and wonder. I sit and wonder.
Hi all, I'm Tony, this is SV Tapatya. We're building a cruising sailboat and it's autumn, isn't it? I'm just looking around, leaves and a few shavings. Covered in leaves again, that time of year, and the shed's got condensation on it, dripping on us, but luckily we're in a position that we're pretty much sealed up. And you might remember that the goal last summer was to get it painted and sealed, and that was, you know, we achieved that, let's be honest. That's done, and I'm pleased with that. And this winter, it's all about getting things working, really. You know, the various boat systems. That's the goal for this winter, to get everything working. Last week you saw me putting the pumps in for the galley sinks. There's all sorts of systems to be put in, various electrical things, various plumbing things, various engine things. A lot to do. Do that, plus a few deck fittings, some cleats and whatever, and some drains, cockpit drains and things like that still to come. So a lot to do this winter. If we can get it all working, maybe we'll be in a position to pull it out of the shed at some stage early next year. Mid next year maybe. That would be cool. We'll see. Anyhow, that's what we're going for. This session now, in the cold, dark time of the year, it's all about getting systems and things working. Let's go and have a look at what we've done this week, shall we? Yeah, been in the engine room. Got a big, if you just walk this way, Kerry, which will illuminate with the torch. Got this, the port side of the engine room, got basically a tool and motor battery locker installed. So the engine room's coming along quite well now. Starboard side, big storage. Port side, we've got that small bit of storage. That was a major thing this week. somewhere like that. You see what I mean? You see there, and that's got that one. There, he's out. Something I should tell you about. Last summer, June time I think, I had a batch of 25 t-shirts made up, and they are long since sold out and gone, but I decided to get a new batch made up, and now we've got a new batch of t-shirts in stock. They're in the shop on our website, svtapatya.com. Not quite as many colours as before, but what's new is we've got some women's cut and sizes, so some women's t-shirts in there, and I think we've got one vest left. But Christmas is coming, the love of your life maybe wants a t-shirt. Get in there on the SV Tapatya shop, www.svtapatya.com. Alright, last thing to mention, I said Christmas is coming, but one issue we've had with the COVID and coronavirus stuff is that postage to the US and Australia outside the EU has been difficult. Well, now it's opened up again. It's possible to post internationally, but only by sea freight. So should you order a t-shirt and be living outside the EU, it's probably going to take some 4 weeks or so to get there, because it's coming by boat, which is good for a sailing channel, isn't it? Then the engine room is progressing. I said once before, well, these things are tied together, they work together. And the cockpit, you might remember I hadn't glued the base in because I wanted to be able to lift it out to work in the engine room, but I thought now I've got far enough in the engine room, so I glued the base in, which unfortunately I didn't film. There's a couple of things, it's happened to me twice this week I think, where I think I've pressed the record button on the camera. I set the camera up, you know, take all the time getting it right, think I've pressed the record button and I haven't. Anyhow, so that was one of them. I didn't film gluing the bottom in. But then put a fillet round the corners, glassed all the corners around the bottom, around the uprights. It's now ready for a good sand and a coat of paint, or 9. And then cockpit drains to come in. A couple of drains forward there against that bulkhead, 2 in the pit itself. Going to put a drain in the diesel filler section over there. So a few drains to come in. Let me show you this. I bought these very lovely little brass drains from Tapatya. They're going to be going in various places. Not for the cockpit, they're too small for the cockpit, but other places. Cockpit will have a nice big 1.5-inch drain. 2 of them in fact, so in total 2 1.5-inch drains. Yeah, that's where we are there. Also got in here some plumbing, drain plumbing, hooked up through to the through hull. So in here is now complete. And if I just shut that door, move the vacuum, you'll see over there, you will see, not very impressive I know, but it's a connection. This comes from the tanks, this one goes off to the galley sinks, this one goes off to the heads. Good. Just take a little notch out there, just so it runs through there a bit easier. Right. Still got the tank end to connect up with a couple of valves there to select which tank we're drawing out of. Still got the pump to go in the heads. It's sat there on the floor waiting to go in. And as I said earlier, all sorts of systems to install. Probably got some shelves to come in here, lights in the galley. I think I'm going to put the chart plotter and the compass in permanently soon, and then think about wiring them up. All sorts of electrics to go in. I've got an inverter, battery charger to go in there. I've got a motor start the battery to go in there, connections to do. I've still got a lot of cabin lights to go in. There's a lot to do, a lot of systems to come in. But, as I said earlier, the goal this winter is to get that all hooked up and working. Let's hope, go for it. Okay, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. You know, all that YouTube stuff. See you next time. Bye.
And on the day she was kissed by the sun, head thrown back, taking it in, a new day has begun. Still going steady, she was stopped by no one. Determined strides as the day got brighter.